Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. First item is to adopt the agenda.
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda.
Bonnie will second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt the agenda. We'll take a roll call then.
We'll do roll call voting. Denise,
Here.
Bill,
Yes.
Bonnie,
Yes.
Sue,
Here.
and Ken.
Yes. The roll call has been taken and it has passed. Okay, then we'll move on to election of chair and co-chair.
I'll make a motion to elect Ken as the chair for 2021.
Bonnie will second that.
Who was that again?
Bonnie will second.
Are you sure somebody else doesn't want the job?
You
We know
can do
you
it one more time.
Okay, motion's been made and second to elect Ken as chairman again. Take a roll call.
Commissioner Denise,
Aye.
Commissioner Bill,
Yes.
Commissioner Bonnie,
Aye.
Commissioner Sue,
Aye.
and Commissioner Ken, Chair Ken.
Yes. The motion's been passed. We'll now elect a co-chair.
I nominate
I-
Denise,
What?
co-chair.
Actually,
I'll
Tuesdays don't
second that.
Tuesdays don't necessarily work for me, so it's not a good idea. Sorry. Otherwise I would do it.
And Bonnie would do it, but she's invisible.
Well, you're here in spirit, though.
I am.
We could elect Stacy.
Yeah.
Can we do that with her being gone? I think
Sue,
we've
you
done
wanna-
that before.
I nominate Sue.
I can't do it this year. I might be able to do it next year if I'm still around.
You guys all do it.
Attaboy.
I'll nominate Bill.
Denise nominates Bill. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
No, motion has been made and second to nominate Bill. Any discussion? Okay, take a roll call.
Commissioner Denise,
Aye.
Commissioner Bill,
Aye.
Commissioner Bonnie,
Aye.
Commissioner Sue,
Aye.
and Commissioner Ken.
Aye. Motion's been made and second to approve motion to Bill. Okay, then we'll move on to approving the minutes of the January minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the January 12th minutes.
This is Denise. I'll make a motion to second that.
Motion has been made and second to approve the January 12th minutes. Any discussion? If not, we'll have a roll call.
Commissioner Denise,
Aye.
Commissioner Bill,
Yes.
Commissioner Bonnie,
Aye.
Commissioner Sue,
Aye.
Commissioner Ken.
Aye. Motion is passed. Okay, then we'll move on to item number 6, park financial information.
On your first page is our capital funds I think we'll leave those for now. We'll go over those quite a bit when we get into the capital improvement planning portion. The two key things there to look at are the existing balances of $119,000 in the park acquisition and development fund. We haven't spent anything out of that yet. And $233,000 in the park capital fund. There again, we haven't spent anything out of that this year either. The next page is the park operations budget, and as you can see, it's pretty early in the year, and we haven't spent hardly anything out of that yet, so.
What is the $17,000 charge for replacement equipment?
We have a fund that we set aside for our equipment, so mowers, pickup trucks, snow plows, things like that. And each year, we have a spreadsheet that sets aside how much money we're gonna have to put into an account to pay for that as it comes due. So it's a revolving account that we add to every year to have a balance set aside, so when we do buy equipment, we don't have to bond for it. We already have it saved up for.
Okay, so that probably won't change this year?
No, that's a one-time charge. It goes at the beginning of the year, and that covers the entire year.
All right.
Any other questions on the operations or the capital funds?
Do we have any major equipment we need to purchase this year? I know we got all new tires and everything last year.
As far as, no, the only thing we have is, I think it's gonna come out of the park, or the street fund is a, Bobcat replacement. I think our mowers are a couple years out yet. There's not a lot in the park, department as far as equipment. Our street capital, or our street maintenance fund, we transfer $125,000 a year, so it's quite a bit more. But they're a little bit interchangeable.
All right, I'll make a motion to accept the park financial information.
I'll second
Bonnie
that.
will second.
Oh,
Motion's
okay.
been made and second to approve the park financial information. Any discussion? If not, we'll have roll call.
Commissioner Denise?
Aye.
Commissioner Bill?
I approve.
Commissioner Bonnie?
Aye.
Commissioner Sue?
Aye.
Commissioner Ken?
Aye. Motion passed. Okay, then we'll move on to item number 7, park capital improvement planning.
This is the 2022 to 2026 Park Capital Improvement Planning. The requested action is to begin discussion and development of the 5-year Park Capital Improvement Plan. The Parks Commission prepares a capital improvement plan annually, which updates projected projects, evaluates priorities, and establishes fundings for these works for the coming year and for each of the subsequent years for a 5-year period. The plan is presented to City Council for their approval and used for preparing their coming year's budget. Attached is the 2021 to 2025 Park CIP. We will discuss those projects that are listed for 2022 and determine if future projects need to stay in their current funding year or be rearranged to reflect any changes in our park priorities. Other projects can be added, and existing ones can be deleted if there's a need for restructuring the schedule. Recommendations from this discussion will be used to develop a draft 2022 to 2026 Park Capital Improvement Plan that the Park Commission can review and edit at a following meeting. So on our first page, we have the Park Acquisition and Development Fund. That shows a beginning balance of $128,000. If you were looking back at what we actually have in there right now, it shows $119,000 roughly. We're still waiting on about a $40,000 deposit from the Cambia Hills Park acquisition. So that beginning balance is going to be roughly around $170,000 probably. I'll have that figure exact when we do the when I get you guys the draft plan, but kind of use that as a ballpark figure to start with that process. So for this year, we're doing, we have the Booster West Trail segment in 2021. That's gonna be a trail that connects to Booster East and goes across the road and goes around the, fourplex out there, paved trail, walking trail. And that's all we have planned for that fund for this year. We had a estimated cost of around $50,000 for that. And you can see, looking down, we got the John Anderson Trail segment in 2022. Ball field lighting for Booster West in 2023. A shade structure for Booster West in 2024. And park pavilion at probably a neighborhood park in one of our parks. We haven't decided which one that was going to be in yet. So this was all the stuff we talked about last year in this plan. I'll give you just a brief rundown of the second page here too, and then we can discuss projects. On the second page is the Park Capital Fund. That shows a beginning balance of $57,000 plus the $90,000 transfer, so $147,926. But if you look at our current balance, we're at $233,000. That does not include the Baton Trail segment that was out for quote. And as we were starting the meeting, the engineer actually just emailed me the quotes for that project. And I'll share them with you here real quick. And they actually came in a pretty good price. So are you able to see that there? Let's try to zoom in a little bit more. So we originally had estimated, I think when we discussed this in one of last year's Park Commission meetings, it was around $75,000 to $80,000 was the estimate. And the low bid is actually $65,000 from Dirtworks. So that's a good price.
Who was that, Nate?
Who was the low quote?
Yes, please.
Dirtworks. And they're actually the ones who constructed the first part of that trail with the development. So they're familiar with how it was constructed and what it's going to take there. So out of that current balance of $233,000, we can roughly take off $65,000 off of that right off the top. So that puts us at a starting balance of $168,000. We had estimated about $148,000, so we're about $20,000 where we thought we were going to be in this budget. For 2021, for this year, we have replacement of the playground equipment at Booster West. So that's a big expense and a much needed expense. We had budgeted $125,000 for that. For 2022, we had replacement playground at Bondi. For 2023, we had playground replacement for an outside park and skateboard park equipment at Booster West. In 2024, we had skateboard and playground equipment at Coon Lake Beach, and we did not have anything in the 2025 slot yet.
I think originally we were thinking we could fill some of this in if we did our park tours, but then that COVID kind of took care of that for us.
That's my video there. There you go. Yeah, so the funds are pretty close to what we had estimated. We'll have that trail done probably pretty early this spring. We'll get working on that. Is there any other projects anybody wants to see moved around at all that they know of or added onto here?
Nate, this is Bonnie. Are we looking at replacing any of the secondhand equipment that we have over here at Coons?
Yeah, so in 2024, we had budgeted a pretty big amount, it's $100,000 for that secondhand playground equipment and the skateboard park equipment.
Okay, okay, so that's all inclusive then?
Yeah, it was just $100,000 and it was combined for both of them, yep.
Okay, I'm sorry, because my eyes are quite reading. I'm trying to refresh my memory.
Sure.
Because I did bring that to the community center, and there may be some funds possibly down the road as well that we might be, depending upon how this whole thing rolls.
Sounds good.
Nate, this is Denise. I looked at the upcoming trails that we had already designated, and there was a little bit around Fish Lake. There was a potential for a connecting trail. Does that sound right?
Yeah, if you go to the second attachment, you can kind of see what Denise is talking about there. Up in the top right corner where Fish Lake is there's a solid yellow line, and then the dotted line was a proposed trail to connect, and that's something that the U of M, the city, and the county of Anoka have kind of talked about. It's something we could definitely get the conversation going again. It's
Well, I was
on-
just thinking because people are always asking me about bike trails.
Mhm.
Is it possible to do a bike trail from there to somewhere?
The trail around Fish Lake, you can't ride a bike on, but the original plan was to have the baton trail connect to the trailhead via bike trail, so you could bike there and then you would hike from there on onto the trail.
Another question too, Nate. And I feel bad even asking this because I know we've talked about it a lot. I don't recall where we ended up. The trail from Northland to is it Viking Preserve there? There was something with some county or DNR land or something in there.
Yep, so
Where's that one at?
we secured all the trail easement, so we have that in hand. The cost of the trail was pretty high in the neighborhood. When we had the meeting with the neighborhood, they were not really interested in it. And the city council had talked about it too, and they decided to hold off on that portion until there was a pretty good need for it. But we have all the easement in place, so when the time comes, just a matter of constructing it at that time. It's mainly crossing the ditch that's the expensive part. It's probably gonna need a bridge. And then we should see some pretty good park dedication fees with the Elevage development and a couple other ones that people are in discussions with the city too, so. It's kind of nice seeing that account. There was a number of years where there wasn't a penny put into that thing.
It was called a drought.
Yeah.
Nate, I also have a question. This is Denise again, sorry. There was another, potential trail around Cooper Lake. That's not the same as the one that we're looking at through John C. Anderson, right?
No, the one around Cooper Lake can't happen because when the water's high, it actually touches private property. So there's no access around it.
Okay.
Yeah, that could actually be taken off of our plan here next time we do an update. It shows it going up the west side of the lake, but that crosses private property there.
That was why I was confused.
Yeah.
Well, I know Cooper Lake is way, way down right now.
Yeah, it is. You can put a trail out there right now, pretty easy.
Yeah.
Be underwater in a couple of weeks maybe, but. And the other thing is we might want to save some money for any future parks that are put in that we need to put playground equipment in as well. I could see something taking place down in that higher density area that we've talked about a few times. That's gonna require some, capital for development in there.
Where's that again?
If something takes place kind of down in the Viking 65 corridor in there,
Oh, yeah, down in there, okay.
a higher density area where we don't have a very good, we don't have any parks really. That green shaded area on our map. I've started some discussions with playground suppliers too. Does the park commission have any preference on what they'd like to see put in Booster West? As far as replacing that big set out there in the playground?
Well, I know the swings are really popular.
That's what I was gonna say, Bonnie, I'm all about the swing.
These, rope climbing things are really popular right now too.
One of the options, one of the vendors that I talked about was doing a little bit smaller house, maybe 2/3 the size of the existing structure that's out there, and then also an added pretty good sized rope climbing structure. It was kind of a giant pyramid shaped rope climbing structure. We could do something like that, or we could just replace it with a big structure. We have to replace the swing set out there as well.
What do we plan on doing with the skate park? Because that's right next to that area.
We have that in the plan for 2023, so for this year, we won't have anything on there. Unless we want to try and fund it with one of the other funds, the other park acquisition development fund.
How about our tennis courts? Are they gonna need resurfacing?
We just did the one at Booster West, the one at Whispering Aspen needs to be resurfaced. I think it was about $12,000 to do the one at Booster West last time.
Okay.
We could add that for maybe even this year.
How are we doing on the really old equipment?
The real old ones we have left are Bondi Park. Coon Lake Beach is the older style structure. Those are the last two, I think, and we have them both on the plan here. We did two of them last year, so they turned out really nice.
Is Bondi getting any use? Are they playing on the fields or anything?
The ball fields do not get used, no. There's people on the playground quite a bit on and off. They walk down the street and use the playground, but the park, the open area is pretty, people running their dogs and hitting golf balls and throwing a football, that kind of stuff, but no organized activities.
We need to put something in 2025, the park capital fund, or can that still stay open for future?
You can do it either way, whatever the commission wants. If we want to save some money there for a future park that's not been developed yet, or if we have something we want to address, whatever the park commission wants to do, we can put in there. We'll have 2026 on here as well, so we'll have another year slotted in there. We'll have to fill for both budgets too.
I guess I'm kind of thinking, I don't see, in my opinion at least, a lot of change is necessary. If there is a tennis court that needs resurfacing, you thought maybe there was a spot we could plug that in?
Yeah, we might even be able to try and get that taken care of this year. If it's in, I know the one at Whispering Aspen's in pretty bad shape.
Yeah, that is.
We're quite a bit over our planned budget for the park acquisition and development fund, especially after we get the Cambia Hills money. We're quite a bit over, yeah.
we get that money back we saved last year?
And in the maintenance budget? That went into the capital, or that went into the general fund.
I'm just kidding. I just like to bring it up. We're so good at saving money.
We're gonna do
All right,
tennis
I
courts.
feel that there isn't much that we can do right now for changes. I mean, we argued about this last year, the changes that we made, so. What does the city council want us to look at?
They were okay with this plan last year. I could put together a draft one for our next meeting, and if anybody thinks of anything in between, they can let me know. And, we can vote and make any changes on it too.
Yeah, maybe are we gonna have like a get together at some park in this, later this summer? Maybe we can,
Yeah, I'm
are we
hoping so.
gonna be able to do that, I think?
Yep, I'm hoping so. I think the one we kind of talked about last time was maybe John Anderson, because we're looking at that trail in there, and that's one of our nicer parks that could use a little bit more TLC, I think. Yeah, I'm hoping as soon as we get some decent weather, we could probably do it even maybe in May or June.
Then maybe
We
we
could
could,
just hold our meeting there.
Right.
and then we could maybe get some better, idea on what we could spend that into 2025
Yeah.
after that, maybe.
So all we have to have for sure to the council is what's in 2022, because that's what they're gonna vote on and put in the budget. And once that's in, that's kind of locked and approved for next year. The rest of the 2023 and then beyond can move around as needed. We'd like to try and keep it somewhat stable so we can plan for it, but the main one we have to get to the council is what's in 2022.
Great.
So that would be
But do you need a
bonding.
motion?
Not on this one, I'm just informational. I'll put together a draft, and then you guys can vote on that at that time, and then we'll send it to city council. And then I'll get some, I'm gonna get some, quotes for playground equipment at Booster West. Does anybody else have anything else they wanna see out there?
I think, weren't we looking at maybe doing, chess and checker tables and that kind of thing, the more adult,
Yep,
older
yep.
stuff?
Yeah, it would be fun, this is Bonnie, it would be fun to see something different, kind of unique in my opinion. And maybe we could incorporate them in other parks. If they worked.
Yep. Well, I'll get a couple different layouts and designs. I'll get one that's basically just a replacement of what's out there, a big structure with swing sets and maybe a couple standalone things on side. And then I'll get one with a smaller structure and a rope climber type setup, and we can look at them from a couple different manufacturers and see what we think and go from there.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Sounds good to me.
That cover it then on that?
Yep, we're good on that.
Okay, then we'll move on to item number 8, first edition PUD.
Item 8, Elevage, East Bethel, first edition PUD. Provide comments on the final plat for Elevage, East Bethel PUD for first edition and a recommendation for park dedication. The city has received the final plat for the first edition of the Elevage, East Bethel planned urban development. The first edition will include 1 commercial lot and 1 outlot. The PUD is planned to be constructed in 5 phases. As each final plat is submitted for each edition, the Park Commission will review and provide comments as well as recommendations for park dedication. If you had a chance to read through, I included the narrative from the developer on there on what they have planned for that property. And what we're looking for here tonight is if you have any comments on it, and then a recommendation on what to do with park dedication.
This is Denise. I didn't see, and I know this isn't like, I mean, it's just a basic plan, but were they still planning on putting a playground in this development?
It's in their plat that they've, it's not, it hasn't been officially submitted, but they do have that plan in there, and that's one of the requirements that the city's gonna have on them, is open space and green space. And they want that in there too.
Okay. And then my other question was, is there only one way in and out of this development?
So, I can show you, let me see if I got a good copy here. The property is gonna be accessed from 2 locations right now and eventually 3. So you'll access it at 187th, across from the East Bethel Theater.
Yep.
That'll go, the road will extend back a little ways to a roundabout, with 2 legs coming off of that roundabout. One's gonna go towards this development, one's gonna go back towards like the Viking Reserve Golf Course. That'll be just a dead end for now. That'll be for future development. And then from there, a service road is gonna run along Highway 65 and come out next to the Star of the North Academy, which is the old Our Saviors building.
Right there on Viking.
Yep, come out on Viking, correct. And that plan is actually we just got back, it's going, the council approved it last night to go for bid, so that project will be starting here shortly, or actually taking the trees out for that project. They approved that last night too, so that'll start next week. So yeah, there'll be two entrances. And right now, this is just the one commercial lot that's being developed.
Is that where it says block 1 on there?
Yep, lot 1, block 1, correct.
Are they doing like a phase a year, Nate, you know? I mean, what's the timing of these 5 phases?
We don't really have a timing, it's up to the developer and what kind of demand they need, what they see.
Well, are we gonna get like park dedication fee, for example, on each phase or on the whole thing?
They'll do it with each plat that's submitted, so each plat will have its own park dedication.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, they could come back and say, you know, we've got a lot of demand, we're gonna do this whole rest of this at one time. And then they would have the park dedication for the entire rest of the property at that time. It's kind of up to the developer on when they want to move forward with it.
Are they, this is Bonnie, are they actually looking at a piece on this thing where they would like to have a park?
Yeah, let me see if I can pull up the, here's the concept plan.
I'm not gonna be able to see it, but if you can tell
Oh,
me
yeah.
I'm looking at it. I'm the blind girl, literally.
They have a, so from the roundabout, it'll come back up to a, it's trying to open up right now, my computer's kind of slow. From the roundabout, it'll go to this commercial lot and then run along Highway 65, and then there'll be 2 roads coming back off of that into the development. There'll be some commercial development. They have, one of their plans, they showed a fast food restaurant, a grocery store, things like that. That's all still up in the air, but, and some single family homes or possibly townhomes and maybe some multiple family homes. And that would all lead back to a cul-de-sac, and then from that cul-de-sac, there was a walking trail that led to a park and green space.
Nice.
It looks like it's phases 3, 4, and 5 that are the residential portions of the development. So that, I mean, we don't know, that could be next year or it could be a couple of years yet.
Correct, yep. So here, I think you can see this. This is the concept plan. Does my cursor show up on your screen?
where it goes.
So, the right side of this picture is north. Highway 65 is across the top here. This is the 187th entrance. You'll come into this roundabout. From there, this road will dead end for now, but it'll eventually connect back to this undeveloped property back here. And the service road will run along the highway and actually continues past here all the way out another, probably almost twice as far as this section out to Viking. So this is the area they have set aside for park, the amenity area. These are walking trails through here. This is all going to be undeveloped wetland and green space. And then this is the developed area. So yeah, here they have, I think it's this future grocery store, fast food restaurant, future retail, possibly a multifamily apartment style home, and then single family or row individual townhome style homes. But none of that's locked in stone yet. That can all change. For tonight, we're just looking at this commercial property here.
Show me where again.
Down
Is it-
right here. On this plan, they have it shown as a proposed gas station.
Oh, okay, that make it there. There's a gas station.
So with any park dedication recommendation, the commission can recommend a land donation or a financial park dedication fee.
This is Bonnie, I would entertain the money as long as this park, land spot remains kind of on the plat. I mean, if that is in fact part of the plat.
I agree with Bonnie.
And we're just talking about where this gas station is the same as block 1 on our printout that you sent us, right?
Correct, yes, yep.
Right,
Okay.
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
I'll second it.
There was a motion made to ask for funds, correct?
Yep,
Correct,
Okay,
money in lieu of land.
yep.
Nick, you know how much it will be then, based on how much is there?
Off the top, I do not. I don't know that quite yet. It's our fees are $2,000, up to $2,000 per acre, or 5% of the value of the land. So they have a developer's agreement that kind of spells this stuff out. That's part of the negotiation process that I think they're still working on a lot of it, but.
Well, approximately how many acres is that right there?
It's a good question. I don't know that off the top of my head. I'd have to.
I mean, is it like 10 or more like 100?
No, it's the whole property. I think it's probably like 5 acres there, maybe.
Oh, okay.
okay, motion has been made. Any discussion?
Sorry, guys, I was trying to talk and my mic was muted.
That never happens.
I know. I have one just clarifying question. Is what we're making this action tonight just about phase 1, or is this about the whole development, all 5 phases?
Phase 1.
Just for
Phase 1.
this one lot, phase 1, yep,
Okay. That helps.
yep. You guys will probably get sick of this because how many times it's gonna come before you, but each time they add something, it'll have to come back to the park commission, so.
I just wanted to clarify, because if it was for the whole thing, I wanted to just bring to attention that this is right in the center of where we wanted, that area, that zone where we want to add a park. So,
Right.
okay.
Yep.
because we didn't know if this playground was going to be private or public either, right?
That's still part of the negotiations, if it's gonna be, yeah, a private playground. It'd be open to the public, but it'd be privately maintained, or if it was gonna be dedicated to the city and the city would take care of it. There was some talk about having the roads the same way, but I think they're kind of leaning towards having it all be city maintained and public, so.
Okay, then we'll have roll call on the motion.
Commissioner Denise,
Yes.
Commissioner Bill,
I approve.
Commissioner Bonnie,
Aye.
Commissioner Sue,
Approve.
Commissioner Ken.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay, if nobody has anything more on that, we'll move on to item number 9. Welcome our city council rep.
Hi,
Hi, Sally.
good to see you guys.
You've been so quiet.
I missed you guys last month because they keep asking me at the city council meeting if I have anything, and it's like, no.
Oh, trust me, it'll get busier.
Good. The only thing we really talked about, was we had one council member, not quite understanding the baton trail system. But it was explained that, due to the length, the expense of the trail, it needed to be done in different phases, and then that was okayed and taken care of and explained, and that's all I've got. I'm kind of boring tonight.
I saw that you guys discussed the haunted trail park.
I'm still trying to figure that one out myself. Cause what I'm getting out of it is it's between, the city of Bethel has property inside of East Bethel. So I'm still trying to learn on what's going on with that. So, sorry. I'm new, I'm learning.
Even when you think you know it, you're not gonna know it. So we are all learning.
Okay, you have anything else, Nate?
No, we're, getting ready to really start getting busy here. As soon as this frost comes out of the ground, everything will be taken off. Our guys have been out patching potholes already. It's gonna be a kind of a busy spring for that. It looks like we got a lot of freeze thaw coming in the next couple weeks, so. Our plowing budget was fantastic this year. We ended up with, we're gonna have a full, salt shed for starting off next year, so we're in good shape that way.
You might not be done yet.
Yeah, knock on wood. Still got about 2 months possibly of snow, but it's looking good after today, I think. Not much else going on for us. Hoping to get back to live meetings and, open everything back up.
Are the Boy Scouts doing a tree this spring?
No, they're not gonna hold the, we're not gonna have an Arbor Day festival or a recycle day. They kept all that stuff canceled for now. We are doing, recycling at the end of each Saturday of every month, of the month now, and that's been going great, so I think we're gonna kinda go away from the citywide recycle day. They've been turning on all kinds of stuff down there, so.
So there is not going to be?
There won't be a citywide recycle day at the arena, but there is one the last Saturday of the month at the recycle center. It takes all the same stuff for, actually it's cheaper most of the time.
That's awesome, actually.
Yeah, it spreads it out over 12 months instead of everybody trying to bring it in at one time too.
This is Bonnie. I have one little thing, Nate. It's not a big deal, but I don't know if it happens, if I should bring it to parks right now, but Going into the community center, the park is on the right. There's a tree there and a knoll by the basketball courts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm entertaining the idea of the community center possibly, paying for a chair, a bench of some sort, where we could have during the summertime, storytelling,
Oh, sure.
where the kids could come and the storyteller could sit on the bench and the kids could sit there. Is that something that would fly, being it's a gate there where originally it was intended to drive through? Is that something that could you look at it maybe, or is it,
Yeah.
could it happen?
Yeah, that wouldn't be an issue at all, I don't think.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, we've got the pavilion, but it's just something that's always kind of been in my head with the park, and
Sure.
it's just a nice little shady, no grassy place.
Yep.
Okay, that's all I got.
Anybody else have anything? If not, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Any discussion? If not, we'll have roll call.
Commissioner Denise? Commissioner
Aye.
Bill?
Aye.
Commissioner Bonnie?
Hi.
Commissioner Sue?
Aye.
And Commissioner Ken?
Aye. Thank you, Nate, for the help.
Yeah, it worked out well.
Have a great night, everybody.
Thanks,
It
everybody.
was nice to see everybody.
Bye.